We keep receiving a lot of mail about a story we did on how one family solved the hot water problem on their RV. So, we thought we'd take a look back at this story, as it seems a lot of RVers keep facing the same problem. Also on this week's show, we look at wheels, specifically custom wheels for your tow vehicle or RV. Later, we'll check out Jeff's tip of the week. These stories and more on this week's Rollin On TV. Closed and Spanish captioning, where available, is sponsored by Jayco. At Jayco, we've been making family dreams come true since 1968.
Regular viewers may remember the segments that we've done on Pat and Randy Kolb. The Kolbs are the first-time RVers. We tagged along behind as they took delivery of their new Lance trailer and went through the whole new owner orientation process, which can be fairly involved. Next, they launched into their first RV camping weekend, where they had a great time along with their daughter Jean, and they learned a lot about RVing. After some time in an RV and a few nights in camp, even if you have a very well-equipped unit, you start to notice there's a few things you could add to it that might enhance your camping experience. Well, that's true with the Kolbs as well. A few months later, we visited the Kolbs again to see some additions they made to their trailer. These included a bicycle rack up front, a leveling aid on the hitch, and a new style of weight distributing hitch. The Kolbs have been having a really great time with their Lance. However, the one fly in their RV ointment has been the water heater. Despite numerous trips to service centers throughout the West and a complete replacement of the brand new heater early on, it still doesn't work right.
Well, we have just finished an 8-week trip doing the Southwest National Parks, and we loved it. We had a great time. The trailer, everything went really well. Perfect, but one issue, if I had to pick something out that I wasn't really thrilled with, was how well our water heater worked for us. It just was pretty finicky, and you're, say, washing your face at night, getting ready for bed, and it's nice and warm, then it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, and all of a sudden you have to turn it down, and then it's really cold. It just wasn't what we wanted it to be.
Right. I'd say you had to dial it in the right temperature, and that was both the hot and the cold and the amount of flow you were getting. And if you didn't hit it just right, you could go from really hot to really cold pretty quickly. And the problem with that is eventually you'd get it adjusted and you'd dial it in, but you'd be using water to do that. We have a 26-gallon tank of water. We can't afford, when we're off the grid, to be wasting any water to get the right temperature. So we're really excited about this Truma unit. We've read a lot of reviews from people who have been testing it, and they all love it. Consistent hot water, you don't have to mess with it to get the right temperature. We're pretty excited about this install.
The Kolbs decided to use the new Truma AquaGo instant water heater. The AquaGo has been making a really big splash in the RV industry, so to speak, and it should do a nice job of solving their hot water problem. Well, we followed along an installation at the Garrity RV Center in Junction City, Oregon, and the installation went a lot easier than we thought. Here's how it went. The AquaGo installation starts with draining the RV's freshwater system, including the old water heater. Garrity technician Scott Tigg inspects the water, propane, and electric hookups to the old heater. These fittings are disconnected to facilitate removal of the old heater and will be reused for the new one.
Actually, this could have been a lot worse in there for space, I suppose.
Yeah, it could have been.
Next, the screws holding the old trim in place are removed, and the trim is pried loose from the old butyl caulk tape.
Yeah, what I'm doing is just using a putty knife to get behind the butyl tape, and just kind of bending the.
A couple more screws, and the entire old heater comes free.
So get all the screws out. It comes out nice and easy in a nice little compact box.
The AquaGo was designed to fit in the same space occupied by an existing RV water heater, which simplifies installation. Randy took this opportunity as a good time to clean up the space prior to installing the AquaGo. Truma technician Mark Howlett detailed some of the service connection options that make installation more flexible.
We have an optional kit that you can run it out the back of the unit, and that allows you to, depending on the installation inside the trailer, you can adapt it to whatever you need. So you could also take it off and run it out the back here and connect it there as well. As far as the water fittings, they're 1/2-inch MPT, so it should be exactly the same. And then we just need to connect to the 12 volt.
Scott cleans the old putty tape remains as the final pre-install step. Then fresh butyl tape is added to ensure a water-resistant seal is in place. The new AquaGo simply slides into the previous heater's position and is screwed in place. The propane line is attached, tested for leaks, and the supplied rubber grommet is clamped in place. Leak testing the propane line is especially important. The water and electric lines are reinstalled and tested on the new heater.
And the hot water line to the top. We turned the pump on, no water leaks at all. And then what I did with the 12-volt system, I installed a 5-amp inline fuse between the hot lines of the trailer to the back of the water heater. I'm just going to lay those right in there.
Next comes bleeding the air bubbles from the water lines. We'll be right back to continue the AquaGo installation right after these messages.
Thetford's tough new Titan sewer hose is virtually uncrushable. Ever had your sewer hose run over by an RV? Watch Titan bounce back. Titan hose is made of Thetford's proprietary blend of TPE and provides the highest degree of puncture and abrasion resistance. It has an easy-to-grip fitting for a leak-free connection to RV outlets. A rotating elbow easily aligns and allows a convenient connection and straighter flow. Titan provides more for your money and is another innovation from Thetford, the RV sanitation leader.
When you have a Truma AquaGo instant hot water system, you can expect to make a lot of new friends.
Welcome back to Rollin On TV. We'll continue our Truma AquaGo instant hot water heater installation with testing and training. The AquaGo operates very differently than a conventional RV water heater, so a full orientation is in order.
So if the unit senses a temperature below 41 degrees Fahrenheit, it'll actually turn itself on. There's a small pump in the back here. It'll actually circulate warm water through the unit to protect the unit from freezing. In the comfort mode, what it'll actually do is it'll maintain the temperature at 102 degrees Fahrenheit. That will actually give you a bit of faster response for your hot water when you turn the hot water on. Okay. So for now, we're going to flip it to Eco. Eco will preserve more of your propane. In weather like today, it will not come on unless there's a demand for water. Okay. When we turn it on, there's a few seconds, and then a green light will come on. The green light means that the unit is now active. Down below here, we have a red light, which will be a blink code. In the manual, it'll give you some instructions if you're troubleshooting, that if you have a blink, you can count the blinks and it'll tell you what's wrong with the unit. So now what we can do is we can go inside, we'll run the water and just check to make sure that we do actually have hot water. The unit will fire up and then we can see what we have. Okay?
Great. Hot water. Wow, lots of hot water. This is great. Wow, we got hot water out here too. Gotta start taking outside showers.
When you go to hook up on your city water side, we recommend that you have a pressure reducer. This particular unit will reset or minimize the pressure down to 45 psi. The unit is actually designed for a maximum of 65 psi. Some of your city water connections can reach up to 100 psi. So we recommend to protect the unit and the other product inside your vehicle with a pressure reducer.
Winterizing is important for many RVers, and the AquaGo makes the water heater part of the process painless.
Truma has come up with this innovative easy drain lever. You're not experienced with the old water heaters, but you used to have to pull out this plug and water would drain down inside the vehicle and all over the side. You get water stains and things like that. With this easy drain lever, the water actually will move outside and away from the vehicle. First thing we need to do is we shut the unit off, so we'll switch it off. Green light is off. Now we're going to go inside. We're going to shut the pump off, and then we're going to depressurize the system because this is under pressure, this tank, and we don't want water spraying all over the place. So we've depressurized the system, we've shut the pump off now, so this is not under pressure. So part of the maintenance that we recommend is to check, there's a filter in here as well, a stainless steel filter, we want to check that. So you just take that, use your thumb to lift up and then pull down on that lever, and then just gently pull it down. Now the water will drain out. It's less than a quart of water, it's about 1.3 liters of water inside there. And you can actually pull that filter out as well. Just grab right here and we'll pull that out. It'll help the water drain a little bit faster. So this is a stainless steel filter, and this filter is actually helping to protect the moving parts inside the unit. So because there's a flow sensor in there, we want to protect that. What we recommend annually is that you take this out, check it, check the O-rings, and then rinse this off just in case there's any particulate. The actual water actually flows in here and up into the system. Great. We do not recommend that when you're winterizing your unit that you blow through the water lines. There is a flow meter inside the AquaGo which is sensing the water flow. For the same reason that we want to control the pressure and minimize the amount of pressure, we want to also not damage the system. So we would recommend either isolating the unit with a bypass system, or you can fill it with your normal glycol antifreeze system to winterize the unit. Okay. So if you want to put that back in, normally this would be drained by now. Okay, and just make sure that's in the right position, and just close it up. Give it a pop with your, yeah, now it's clicked, it's in position, it's done. Now if you're winterizing, maintenance is done for the year. If you're winterizing it, all the water's out of the system. You want to protect the copper in here. If it does freeze, they'll expand and they'll crack. Okay, system is ready now for putting it away into storage, or if you've done your maintenance, now we just reverse that process of bringing it back up. We want to open up the taps, vent the air out of the lines again, bring everything back up to pressure, and then you can turn the system back on. Okay?
The final step is installing the trim ring and access cover.
And then we just use it, so you can see here, again, the latch is very simple. The door is actually designed to open in this position so that you can actually access the on-off switch here. And then if you need to do any maintenance or do any draining, move it forward, pull it out, and then drop it away from the vehicle. It'll hang there with the straps, and then it's easy to work on from this position. If you need to open the lever or anything like that, put it back in, just lift it up, make sure the ties are in, drop it into the hole, in, latch, done, ready to go.
Following their next trip, we were pleased to hear the Kolb's AquaGo report.
Yeah, we just got back from 4 days at a country music festival on the southern Oregon coast. Had a great time, and are happy to report that really for the first time in the year and a half that we've been trailering, that we had just a wonderful hot water situation. It was just like you would hope it would be.
Yeah, it was super. I know I've said many times in the past to Rand, I said it's just so hard to wash your face quickly without the water getting really hot, then getting really cold. And at the coast we were in a situation where we weren't on city water, and we didn't waste a lot of time with trying to get the water to the right temp. It came on, it stayed where you wanted it to stay. We showered, we cooked, we washed dishes, everything, and it was just perfect.
It worked just like a home water heater system.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was great.
We were so pleased.
Yeah, really happy with the AquaGo.
Well, it looks like the Kolb's water heater hassles are all over with. We enjoy telling our viewers about products that work, and in this case, the story had a happy ending for all concerned. To learn more about the Truma AquaGo water heater, log on to our website at rollinontv.com.
At Jayco, we're a lot more than just an RV manufacturer. We're all about family, and we've been making family dreams come true since 1968. To see our complete product line and find your nearest Jayco dealer, visit us online at jayco.com or just log on to rollinontv.com. At Norcoal, we realize that some of your favorite RV destinations are off the grid. And Norcoal refrigerators are uniquely designed with that RV experience in mind. We call it Freedom Unplugged. To learn more about our Norcoal RV refrigerator line or to find a dealer near you, visit our website at norcoal.com.
Nothing dresses up your tow rig or other RV like a set of custom wheels. The line of forged aluminum wheel products from American Force Wheels can make your vehicle a standout.
American Force Wheels are a forged aluminum wheel company. We only manufacture forged wheels. There's a huge difference between a forged wheel and a cast wheel. They're both aluminum, but different types of aluminum. Forged wheel is 95% metal, 5% air, because it's squeezed under 4,000 tons of pressure. Load capacities in comparison, a standard 19.5 8-lug will have a load capacity of 6,600 pounds, where a casting, the highest I've seen, is about 4,200 pounds, so quite a huge difference in load capacity. American Force Wheels are available for all sizes of pickups, vans, RVs. We've been known for our dualies. We're expanding our singles line with 20x9s. Their load capacity also is quite a bit more than their factory wheel or a cast type wheel. They come in a number of two basic finishes. You've got a polished finished wheel and you've got black painted. Now the painted wheel is a powder coat. It can either be a flat black or a textured black. The one I'm looking at here is a textured black. It's a directional also. Since we mill them at the time of order, we make you two lefts and two rights so everything looks the same on both sides of the vehicle. We have the capability of drilling any 5-lug, 6-lug, or 8-lug bolt pattern in all the wheels that we manufacture. We cut the design and drill the bolt patterns at the time we receive the order. We're able to do that by keeping blank wheels in stock at all times, and we do the machine work in 2 to 5 days.
For complete information about American Force Wheels, log on to our website at rollinontv.com.
Never run out of propane again. With Level Check, there's no more guesswork. Just run the gauge over the tank, and when the light turns from red to green, you'll know exactly how much propane you have left. It's that simple. Level Check, another great product from Truma. For more information, visit levelcheck.com. For 50 years, Campers Inn RV has been your trusted resource for RV sales, service, and accessories. Now, with 15 locations along the East Coast from New Hampshire to Florida, we'll be giving you that same family-friendly service and be your trusted resource for another 50 years. For information and locations, visit us online at campersinn.com.
Anytime we're traveling, safety is a top priority. There's a little something that we do to make sure that nothing goes awry later on down the road. While we don't have a hard and fast checklist per se, all it amounts to is a simple inspection, a walk around of the vehicle. We count the parts more or less. Now you have to get out of the vehicle and stretch your legs anyway, so as you're stretching your legs on your way to the restroom, for example, stop in, take a look at all your hardware that you need to, and you can make sure things are going okay with the rest of the vehicle. We'll show you what we do. Stop number 1 is your tow vehicle's tires. Now it's a little hard to tell with today's modern radial tires if a tire is low pressure or not, because there's a little bit of a bulge on the bottom of a radial anyway. But you can stop, take a look, give them a thump, make sure that they're up to pressure, check them with your tire gauge, and just give a quick visual inspection of all the lug nuts and make sure it doesn't look like anything is wearing loose. Next stop, and I don't suppose there's any need to tell you why this is important, is your equalizing hitch. Take a look at everything. Make sure that it looks like it did when you started out in the morning. Check the spring bars, make sure they still feel tight. Maybe your lock for the hitch. Chains are all where they ought to be. Plug is still in tight. Everything looks good here, but it doesn't hurt a bit to stop and take a minute to just check the parts. You know, it's such an easy thing to do, and it can save you huge grief down the road. Next up are your tires and wheels. Look for low inflation pressure, check for any signs of damage. Hold your hands kind of near the hubs to feel how warm they are. If you're real careful to avoid being burned, touch the wheel or hub gently to find out if they're all running about the same temperature. If one of the hubs feels really warm compared to the others, it could mean that the bearings are going bad, and that would call for a stop at a service center at your nearest convenience. For this part of the walk around, a digital infrared thermometer comes in really handy. These are inexpensive, they can cost about $50 or less. This is a Fluke Model 62, it costs about 80 bucks. It includes a digital readout of temperature, and it has a laser pointer to show you exactly where you're measuring the temperature. You aim it at the surface you want to measure, and you instantly get a precise readout of the temperature. This particular style of wheel has a space in between the spokes that allows direct access to the brake drums. And that allows you to take your digital thermometer and take a reading directly off the brake drum to see how the temperature is running. Brake drums are another indicator of the health of your chassis. If one of the drums is significantly cooler than the others, it could mean that brake is not being applied. At the same time, if one drum is really hotter than the others, that could mean that that brake is dragging, and either situation calls for a stop at a service center. While you're walking around your RV, check these guys out. Make sure that they're securely tight. How often have you been going down the freeway and you've seen these things flapping open in the wind, maybe with a sewer hose or extension cord or something hanging out and banging all over the place? You don't really need that. Next item, you come around back, just take a quick look at both of your tail lights and make sure that nothing has happened to them, breaking out or anything. And is this guy tight? More or less. You know, it's really amazing how many RV manufacturers consider a spare tire an option on an RV. Kind of blows our mind sometimes. Wheels on this side are okay. Just take a look around. If there's anything you can see that's a moving part, that's what you ought to consider. Make sure that the awning is in tight. All these little compartment doors need to be shut. Entry door, it's good and tight. Steps are folded up where they ought to be. Awning on this side looks like it's tight. And the compartment is tight. It really doesn't take long to walk around the rig as you stop and just give all this stuff a check. A couple of minutes is what you'll spend, and you'll save yourself a lot of hassle later on down the road and give yourself a safer trip. With your inspection out of the way, you can hit the road with confidence.
We hope you enjoyed this week's show, and for additional information on anything you saw on the show, along with additional videos and stories, visit our website at rollinontv.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. As usual, this has been another fun production. For the latest up-to-the-minute RV news, visit our media partners at rvbusiness.com.